Jai Gurudev, everybody. So maybe you have noticed that while I was doing Japamali, I was coughing a little bit. Actually, you see, I'm very sensitive to draft. So whenever there is some wind blowing, it's terrible for me. So that's why I'm wearing this shawl right now. I'm not coughing to scare you all. I really look forward, even if I don't see all of you. But knowing that you are all there, yes, it's really nice, chanting together. And that to show that we are a very strong family, yeah, and that we are here for each another. I'm here for you, and you are here also for me and for everybody. And that's what family does, and that's what makes us also strong in ourselves. So wherever you are, you are in quarantine or not, it's lovely to have this time together with you. Like I said to you all, I'm enjoying it. I hope you're also enjoying it. So I'll ask Swami Revati to ask your question.
Guruji, as we go through life, we make decisions which maybe are not what God and Guru planned for us, and we realize we've made a mistake. How can we live with that mistake and adjust to God and Guru's plan B?
So funny. In life, you will make lots of mistakes until you really are in tune with God and Guru's plan. And that mistake is not a mistake, actually. It's a learning process. And through that learning process, you learn to become aware not to do it again and again. So it's not a mistake, It's like I said, it's a learning process. It's remind me of a story. A man, after countless struggle and failure in his life, he decided to quit everything and retire himself into a forest. So as he went into the forest, he met a sage. And as he met the sage, he bowed down to the sage and said, "Please enlighten me. What should I do? I have been struggling throughout my life, failure after failure. I don't have success when everybody around is very successful." So the sage said, "Listen, my dear. You don't need to quit. Just realize what life has been teaching you." And he pointed to two plants. And he showed, "Look, these two plants. You see these huge bamboos who have been growing very tall, and this fern." So looking at these two, and he said, "Look, see, I planted both together. I planted the seeds of the fern and the seeds of the bamboo at the same time. So as I watered them and look after them, the fern start growing beautifully, very quickly, and very greenly. Very beautifully he become. But the bamboo, I keep watering, I keep looking after it. There were no sign of life into it. It didn't grow. But I didn't stop looking after the bamboo seeds. And I didn't stop looking after the fern. And the fern, meanwhile, was growing, blossoming beautifully, green and wonderful. So, as time goes on, the seeds of the bamboo stayed the same. Nothing is happening. Like that, 5 years goes. And after 5 years, there were a little, sprout in the bamboo seeds. And as the bamboo seeds was sprouting, Brindavan dogs. You see here in Brindavan, either the monkeys harassing us, jumping around, making noise, or the dogs. If it is not the dogs, it's the people. Sometimes in satsang you will hear them by the side of the wall talking. So it doesn't matter. So let me carry on with my story, if I remember. So, as the little bamboo shoot started growing, within 6 months, there was hundreds of meters of bamboos growing from that little seeds. So the sage said, do you think the bamboo were not growing? Actually, it was growing. It was growing inwardly and it was growing downwardly. It was making its root strong enough to be able to hold what will come later on. So within a year, that bamboo was so tall that to have a so tall stem or stake, whatever you want to call it, you need a strong root. So like that, in life, you will encounter many failure. Just like a child, when the child starts to walk, often the child will fall down, but the child will get up again and will again try to walk. Imagine the child decide, okay, I fall down, now finish, I'll stop everything. Do you think the child will walk? No, it will not walk. So in life, these are life examples that come upon your way to make you strong. And if you view it like that, you will see there's such a learning process that one goes through. Of course, when you're going through that, it's difficult to see it. But sit down quietly and observe your life itself. How many times you have fallen, but you have get up. And all these have been experience which have brought you where you are now. And your life is not bad, you know. You have a wonderful life. And that's what you have to see. Your eyes is good, your nose is good, mouth is good, your health is good, no coronavirus, no other viruses, nothing. Be grateful about life itself. You know, it's true, it would be wonderful that whatever you pray to God, God just throw it upon you. But would you learn something from that? No, you will not learn something from that. So, very often, what we receive easily, we take it for granted. But what we work for, we value it. So view it, whatever come, it is from Him, and it is a learning process for you.
Guruji, often the line between pride and self-confidence seems really blurry for me. One is bad and one seems good, but what's the real difference?
Sorry, again.
The line between pride and self-confidence.
Sorry. Between pride and self-confidence, actually, it's true. Between pride and self-confidence, there is a fine line. You see, in pride, the ego is very much into it. In self-confidence, you don't display your ego. Yesterday there was a question about humbleness. So it is like that. When you are proud about yourself, you have this majestic ego, which is very powerful. The world rotates only about you. You are the center of everything. So whatever you do, it's only about I, my, and mine. That's what pride makes you do. But when you have self-confidence, you will not bother about I, mine, and mine. You will do what you have to do. You will enjoy everything what you do. Because you see, somebody which have pride, they have to bother constantly about feeding their ego. Constantly, they have to think about themselves. Constantly, they have to think, what should I tell these people for that person to acknowledge me? How can I make that person happy? Actually, I don't want them to be happy. I want me to be happy. They say. So, constantly, you're busy about others. You are thinking constantly about what others thinking about you. It's always about outside looking about you. Are you happy in that way? No, you will never be happy. Because the same thing you're doing to others also is doing to you. But you're not aware of it. Because the pride and ego is so content. They're so joyful. But you are not aware of that. When will you be aware? When one of them hurt you. You see? Once you get hurt by one, that ego is smashed. Then you start that bothering you. Why this happened? And because your pride have been hurt. Your ego have been hurt. But whereas in self-confidence, it's completely opposite. When you have self-confidence, it's not about how others see you. It's about how you see yourself. They say, and you try your best to become somebody, not what people see of you, not what you have to show to others, but you come to this self-acceptance of how you are. Doesn't matter if the world accepts you or not. The world, the way they see you, in which color glasses they are wearing, they will see you like that. But your glasses must be clear. So there's a big difference between the two. And when you sit and analyze your life, you will see. Because you see, when you are proud, you're a proud person, you're never satisfied with anything. Even the most wonderful thing will be given to you, you will never be satisfied. But if you are a self-confident person, even in the smallest thing, you will be satisfied. So this satisfaction, that's what you hold. There was once a saint, I think it's Ramakrishna, I don't know, I don't remember. Oh, Gondalekar Maharaj. So, among his devotees, there was a very well-known and very educated person. And this person in Maharashtra, he was well known. And of course, Maharajji also was well known, other great saints. So one day, one of the disciples of Maharajji came to him and asked, Maharaj, there is a question bothering me. Please tell me, you know, you are such a simple man, and this man, the other educated person, he have everything. He have money, he have name, he have fame, everything. But I see that he come to you. Why such a man who have everything need to come to you? So Gundalekar Maharaj said to him, look, he may have everything materially. He may have all knowledge. He's very educated. But that doesn't make somebody satisfied. Whereas when he come here, he feel this satisfaction inside of his life, inside of himself. So when you're satisfied with yourself, you will be the most happiest person. So you see, it's very simple. But very often, we like to complicate our life. We like to look for problem when there is no problem. Because we are always bothered about the view of others. We are always bothered about how people think about us. But those which is on the spiritual path, they should not bother about that. Because you have learned through your path to respect life, to respect everybody, and to love everybody. How they are. This is very important. When we talk about love, we are talking about how the Lord, how Giridhariji love everybody. No? And this is come with acceptance, the acceptance of yourself and acceptance of everybody. In the Bhagavad Gita chapter 13, verse 34, Bhagavan said, there's one sun which illumines the whole world. Like that, there's one consciousness that illumines your intellect, your awareness and everything. So, if that sun illumines the whole world, the sun, the nature of the sun itself is that illumination. When we have day and night, it's not that the sun is going to sleep like we often say. No, the sun is ever lighting. It is always shining. The consciousness inside of you is ever shining. Let its nature awake. Let this awareness awake. So, when that awareness awake inside of you, it will naturally shine its presence, and through that presence, everything get illumined, just like the sun. Through the presence of the shine of the sun, everything is become bright. The sun don't make any effort. The sun is ever shining. So like that, when you are self-centered, when you are in peace with yourself, your presence itself will bring the transformation around.
Guruji, how can we know if Guru and God are happy with us, since we know you don't like to flatter us?
Flattery. That's what everybody is looking for. You know, when you do something good, you like to be thankful. You like to be flattered. You know? But actually, you see, Guru and God don't do that. Because they know very well when the ego of a disciple or devotee is flattered, this is the danger of it. But very often people like to hear it, you know. In my life, I have seen many people, you know. Many people have come in my life who have come with an expectation to be flattered, an expectation to be, say, thank you. But if you are a true Guru, you know very well that whatever you're doing, whatever you're allowing the devotee to do as service, if you say thank you, and if you flatter them, they will not receive that grace. They will not receive that punya. That's why true master never say thank you. Because they are there to elevate their disciple. And by saying thank you, it creates a certain expectation. Because you see, it's never finished. Once you say thank you to somebody, that person says, yes, now I have done something wonderful. You know? So if I have done something wonderful, I want to do it again. I'm being seen in a very good way in the eyes of Guru and God. But Guru and God eyes is not like your physical eyes, you know. It doesn't look only on the limitation of things what you are doing, but it's looking on beyond. There were once a Sufi saint, actually, Junai. So Junai, he was always praising God in everything. So he moved to a certain location, and where he moved, there was a crazy man. So this old man will, from day one, he will harass, do everything to make the life of that Junai miserable. Everything. Night he would scream, you know, when Junai was sitting for his meditation, this old man would scream and make lots of noise and so on. You know, you can make your life infernal, make his life infernal completely. So one day Junai, you know, was after 4 days being like that, Junai was fed up. Said, why I have come to this place? Said, okay, I will pray to God to kill him. So he prayed, said, oh God, this man is horrible. Please, can you kill him? You see, throughout the life of Junai, God have never spoken to him. But on that day, God decided to respond to him. So he heard a voice, the voice of God, saying, Junai, you have come here only 4 days and you are complaining about your neighbor. I have been here 60 years. You know, he have been here 60 years. And I have been his neighbor also. I have been the neighbor of everybody. And I don't have any problem with him. Have you asked yourself, why do you have a problem with him when I don't have a problem with him? So from that day on, Junai never didn't pray for anyone to be changed. He learned to respect and love everybody the way they are. See, in this, we see that very often the problem is not with anybody else, the problem is with us. When we have a problem, we make our problem the problem of others. We project it on others because we can't accept. So, in this story, we learn to accept the will of God, like Junai accepted. Learn to accept whatever you do, God's eyes and Guru's eyes is always upon you. And flattery and thank you and so on are just poison which real master don't do. Why would they take that punya away from you? You see, when you do something for the master, okay, you're doing something with such eagerness to please the master, no? So in that eagerness, you know how much punya you are receiving, how much merits you are receiving. And these merits, while serving, that merits become something for your own salvation, to bring you closer to the divine. But imagine just a thank you or an acknowledgement or a flattery from the master, all this punya is void completely. All this punya is being removed completely. Very often people don't explain that to you, how punya work. So that's why you will see that I don't say thank you to my devotee. It's not that I'm not grateful for them. I'm very grateful for whatever they do, I see it. I know about it. I am with them. But I would never flatter their ego, because I don't want to take away that punya. It is through that punya that they are coming closer to me. It is through that punya that they will go closer to Giridhari, to God. Why should I nullify it? Why should I remove it? I am very grateful, And I'm really, I can tell you something. I am so grateful for my devotees, and I love them. So I don't need to tell them how much I love them. I think they do know about it. Because if I would tell them, I love you, I love you, I love you, does that increase your love? It doesn't increase your love. Because you deep inside, I'm sure you know about how much I love you. And you deep inside, you know how dear I am to you. Word have a limitation into that. But our connection is from heart to heart, and it's the language of the heart that we connect. And that's what I want. I want you all to grow spiritually, and that connection become so strong that there is nothing that can move it. So that's why Master don't flatter the ego of the devotee.
Jai Gurudev Guruji, why are human beings always pretending?
So there's also other people who don't pretend. You see, earlier I was saying, very often people like to be in the good light. They like to be, politically correct. That's why people pretend. Because you see, throughout life, from small, through your education, society have make you like that, have always asked you to pretend to be who you are not. Because it's very difficult, to accept people how they are. Spirituality tell you differently. Screw the society, be yourself. When I'm saying screw the society, I don't tell you to not respect them. But be who you are, whether they accept you or not. Otherwise, you become a slave of society, slave of how people want you to be. Look at your life. You have been always pretending. Have you ever done something by yourself, feeling this confidence that I want to do it, no matter what, hell to the world, hell to anybody, let me be and express myself the way I am? How many of you have done that? Not so many. Because you're always bothered about what people will say to you. You're always bothered about what people will think about you. You don't have that confidence, to challenge the world. That's why you're very scared, to be who you are. You're scared to tell what you want to say. So, stop pretending, be yourself. Knows that He loves you the way you are. He have created you. Does God make any mistake in His creation? God doesn't make any mistake in His creation. He has created you the way you are, unique. And He loves you the way you are. Learn to respect you and to love yourself the way He have made you. So, Jai Gurudev, everybody.